Good morning and welcome back to the channel. So today we have a double Ciri Dash soldier deck, and I want to go through this card by card, not get too excited and jump to things really quickly just so you can understand where I'm coming from. This is a very solid mid-rangey deck. It doesn't have any really expensive cards, but it allows us to really greed out that 8, 9, 10 provision slot range. So there's a lot of really good, solid, round cards in the deck. Starting off with Qcento Heatwave, we have the ability to banish a unit or artifact. So whether it be scenario or just the tallest unit, we can go and we can answer that no problem, right? We have Mushy Truffle second. Great location here, has resilience. We have the ability to play a bonded unit from the starting deck, order, spawn a golden froth, which is going to help keep some things supported and alive. Works out perfectly with soldiers. Now we have a couple options of bonded, so we can go for an illusionist, spawn a base copy of a bronze unit from your opponent's graveyard to the right side of the card, and bonded, don't set the power to 1. So that's really cool to pull into. Or we can just go full out Alba Pikeman Swarm, which is often what I'll take in first, second round if I have to use Truffle. This is more of a third round play, but we have certainly a couple bonded options here to go in with the Mushy Truffle, and it gets tons of value here. Calveit helps put our deck in the correct order so that we're getting all of our good gold cards first, so we have the ability to play all these beautiful 8, 9s, and 10s from our deck, and it really helps us pull into the next combo that we're going to talk about here. But we're pretty well guaranteed to pull Calveit in this game because we do have seven tactic cards, right? We have the one, and then, well, we have 6. We have 6 tactic cards, so this is going to move Calveit 6 spots up in the deck, and worst case we miss it, we can always go with the decree and we can grab them and fix the deck that way. But more than often you're probably going to pull into them round 1, round 2 latest. I haven't had a situation where we haven't yet, so fingers crossed. This is going to be the controversial play here. We have Ciri Dash and Letho Kingslayer. So Ciri Dash, after 4 allied turns on turn end, draws a card. This is going to flip the coin if we are on blue, and this is going to really abuse the coin if we're on red. Now, the great part about it is we're pretty well guaranteed to pull this combo off because we have the Calveit supporting it, and we have the decree. Tons of thinning options as well, but that's basically it. So we get down our defender, being the Fion. Then we put down the Ciri Dash, and we just wait. We wait patiently. We have things to boost it up, whether it be Mushy Truffle or some of the bronze boosting cards here, the tactics. So Ciri really sticks normally. I have Crystal Skull even to support that, to prevent a lock. And in addition to that, if we're on red coin especially, we can go and put down that Letho, which makes it even worse for them because now we're going to be drawing 2 cards, which is like technically like a 3-card advantage if you think about it if we're going second. So it makes a huge difference. This is what sets up the 2-0 machine here. And if they answer defender, we can use Letho to make another defender. If we have 2 of these going on, 2 series, and they answer 1 series, we still have the 1 series. So there's a lot of really answer this or lose type feelings towards this, and you know, it might not be for everybody, but if you like to play that way, by all means give this one a try because it was fun for the time that I played it. Now we have that whole combo going on. The goal is to win round 1 on even, go to round 2, play a bunch of bronze engines, get extraordinary value from these, and with card advantage win the game. So we have the Ramon that's going to be making copies of the Alba Pikeman or the Crossbowman and just getting tons of damage on the board. And then of course we have removal with Qcento Heatwave and Yennefer's Invocation, and Vrygif is in the deck for either the Crossbowman or the Illusionists. So we have options there, right? We can hold Illusionists in hand round 1 if we want to play Calveit, and so we have them in round 2. We can just play it out till round 3 and have Illusionists. There's a ton of different things, but Vrygif's really good for that reason. I'll use it if I'm trying to go for 2-0 on the Crossbowman. It works fine. We get the extra damage. It helps with removal, and that, along with tactics, is usually enough to take down pretty much anything. So there's that there. For sheer tempo, I have Afan and we have the Impera Brigade. This is going to help thin that deck out, make sure that if we do go to round 3, we are pulling into this bottom here. So this helps us get the Illusionist plays, taking that thin in round 2 and taking the extra thin here with the Brigade in round 2. So really cool stuff. And that's pretty much it. Just cards to support our engines, and you know, some of which, like Tourney Joust, we can use defensively or offensively, just a bit of versatility there. But overall, I like the way that the deck plays, and it really comes down to a couple things. It plays like Kelly, it plays like Colgrim, so if they answer our plays, we lose, right? But if they can't answer our plays, we will win, generally speaking, right? Because it really puts a lot of provisions into flipping that coin. But, like I said, a lot of fun stuff, and I'm pretty confident that this could get you climbing pretty high if you give it a solid run. Now, some considerations would include maybe like a Purify in the bronze end. I wouldn't mind that so much. Like maybe Ointment goes and Peller comes in or something like that. But so far it's been not too bad. Purify is nice to get around their defender, or to purify our Ciri if the second one gets locked or something of that sort. But again, that's just a very minor change that you can do at your own discretion. I've got 4 games for you guys today, so you can check out exactly how this deck pilots before you play it for yourself. And if you enjoy the content that you see, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and let's get into the games. And for the first game, we've got Northern Realms Uprising. And I'm really glad that we see Witchers come back in the ladder. I don't mind playing against them, and I actually really enjoy playing them, so it's okay to mulligan back some golds here, because we will be top decking into them with the Calveit. Now, I don't have the defender, but I think we just want to go and play the dash, because the only way, if it is Witchers, that they're going to be able to respond to that would be to go ahead and duel that on the first turn. Okay, so the Purify, maybe they're coming in for the lock here. Why don't I just go make a copy? And I want to keep the second one at a boiling oil range, so we'll go ahead and boost that. Now he's got both ticking off here. It's nuts. Get the immediate pass on 9 cards. So there's one round. So we didn't take Calveit yet, so we have a pretty good mix of gold, bronze. Joust here is actually pretty good, but we do have damage. I don't mind just keeping one Joust and just playing a bunch of damage cards. Like the pikemen's here. We can line up like 4 of them.
History lies buried here.
So we want to get them bonded as quick as possible. I'm not using the Ramon yet because we have the option of just using it on the crossbowman, so might as well save it until then. But it is probably the pikeman we'll take.
I hope we can trust you.
So 1 lock's not bad. Okay, so I'm holding it. That's what I ended up doing. And that's fine.
Time is the easy bit. Getting down's another matter.
Because depending on the commitments here, we might not even play all the way down. We might just try and take, like, a card advantage. Use Monster Truffle as carryover. So, keeping it somewhat flexible is kind of good. Probably just take out that Witcher. Times like this, I wish I had the second joust, but I don't think it's all too bad. It's a bit of a late duel, but I'm glad we saw it. We've got to go and start working on that adept here. Okay, so Calder's sitting at 5. We just have to hit it twice and hope for a lucky ping. We've got 2, well, technically 3 pings. You see what I mean? Like, and then the turn end ping, so it was pretty good. And that'll just do it for the first game. Moving on to the second one here, we have Skellige, Battle Trance. Same sort of thing applies. Illusionists round 1 are a little bit difficult here. Be nice to have the defender, but we do have access with Decree. It's one of those things where I don't think we need Decree, but then if I want to take out Decree, then all of a sudden we start needing Decree. So it's a tough spot. Because there could be something else we could get in that range that's just a lot of points, right?
That's order! Can you set out? Victory is on the wind. That is your brilliant move, truly.
So I don't really have much of a choice here. What I do know is that we gotta gamble a little bit because they could use Leader and Giga. So I'm gonna leave that being the only answer. Leader, Giga, or Heatwave. I don't hike it to 11 just in case it's Heatwave. We're just giving them that extra value. We should just be good here, right? Can put down the Letho next. But Letho might get the axe.
Nothing like some overseas plundering in springtime.
So I'm wondering, I think there was probably a choice where we maybe just used 2 on the Ciri and then just waited for the third one to put on the second one so that it was 7 power. But either way, if it sticks, yeah. So that would have been the play had I expected it. But at this point, I'm feeling pretty confident that at least we're going to be able to get the Ciri back and then sort of put them in a spot where they can't really bleed us. That's the problem with Battle Trance, is that I don't want to get pushed. So there we go. And something I don't know if I explained in the intro, I think it's very important. The Calveit helps set up a really good top deck for the Ciri play, so we can guarantee that we're going to be pulling our best card every single time. And that was one of the reasons why, if you wanted to be a bit greedier, you could take out the Royal Decree, because we don't necessarily need to pull a Decree, because we're already pulling our best cards with Calveit and with Ciri.
Who nicked my mushrooms again?
But this is just like most consistency. If I decide to go ahead and play this again, I'm probably going to make it... I'm going to see if we can optimize it. Put like a bit more points in there somehow. It could be as simple as maybe adding another tactic in the bronze end, taking out Decree, putting something else that generates points in that 7 through 9 spot.
With a shrill cry.
But, okay, we got Truffle, and we got Scenario down. First round, that's like 2 of the problems. So either they try and 2-0 us off the back of the Truffle, or they have to pass on that and go to round 3. So I was thinking about taking Yen here, but I think it's too slow, because then they can pass on us, and then we're trapped, right? So if we pass here, we have the 2-card advantage going into round 2. We both have Truffle. And so they opt to go for that right away, which is fine because we're not running Dwims, so it's a 6-point heat wave.
Today, the same tomorrow.
Reach, reach beyond what eyes see and the ears hear. Man is an arrogant creature.
And so this actually works out quite well. If you see the line here, we have 2 tall removals in hand. We can hit that back row. But I'm hoping that we can maybe yen the Crow Mother, right? Because we want to be able to play that later on. It's a pretty good card, right? Top decking that's 8 points guaranteed for round 3. It also denies the 4 that they're going to get back from playing an alchemy. So it plays for about 12 points if we can yen that. But we had to stay ahead first. And we still gotta stay ahead now. That's the thing. I want to keep as much of a card difference as I can. So we get technically 2 and then 2 more here. So on a pass we could take Crow Mother.
Traveling is an option, you see.
Okay, all in's not half bad. So we should keep 1 card, right? This doesn't really do anything. Vreemed is probably the play. Nope. Take the yen. If I was to replay this though, I would probably take the Yen before the Vreemd, just in case the pikemen were to hit something else. However, we still had the points regardless, but it's just to optimize the play, basically. And now we can just look for the best choice. I obviously want to pull Illusionists. I think that'd be really good. So I'm trying to see if maybe we mulligan a Joust for it. We can probably look again. You see a trend here. We can't finish the game. Moving on to the next one here, we have Nilfgaard, Enslave, and I think it's Enslave 5 here. Totally ambitious. So, if they don't Yen, we're good. But I have to leader, which really sucks because otherwise they can use assassination or something plus leader. So, very uncomfortable situation to be in here. We got to take that on the Helga for sure. And yeah, I see the line of them just literally taking that down and putting us in trouble. I think if they had Yen, they'd use Yen.
Onward, onward, to be showered with imperial gold.
Okay, so Calveit comes down here. It makes me wonder what they're going to be pulling into. But so far so good with the Ciri, right? And I was thinking that at this point they probably didn't have an answer to Ciri. So if we wanted to be really safe about it, we could have just put down the Letho into their defender, or we could have put down our defender through Royal Decree. So kind of a couple things there. I decide that I want to go and just leave the second Ciri because it would provoke them to use leader. And with that as well, we wouldn't be playing this far into the round. That was basically the case. I wanted to see that leader in exchange because I felt like it was one of those things where that leader could really hurt us later. But seeing Terra Nova come down round 1, leader come out of the way, their defender come out of the way, it certainly is a pretty good trade, in my opinion. We hold on to the rest of our leader, which is kind of nice too. So I don't think that they're going to bleed here. Very slow play. They're probably going to take the longer round, and we should be fine. I think bleeding would be a mistake. Probably just set this one up first. And I'm glad we have an example of a game like this, because it's it'll help show you guys basically how we play, you know, should there be a round 3, right? We still have quite a few good core bronze cards. And what I've noticed with the deck too is that we know when we're going to be pulling in Affin after we play the Calveit. So it makes it very easy not to have to worry about pulling into it, because we expect it at a certain point, so we could basically stage our mulligans in around it. So there's no reason to pull into Impera Brigade or Affin bricks with this version at least. So I keep the decree open. In this case, probably pull like an illusionist or something like that. I want to play on ranged, but I also want to get armor on things, which is the tough part. Ultimately, in this matchup, I think it's best to play on ranged whenever you can. Just simply because we have Affin that comes out to melee row. If it's Nilfgaard, they could be running spies and really clog up that front row. And the fact that there's 4 units there, and we want to have room for more, right? We have crossbowmen. We don't need to put that there, but it could be put there. We have pikemen. We have the mushy, right? And fortunately, they didn't really see that line. So that's pretty good. I want to play this here first, though.
Dwarfs. What are they?
Get the extra armor. Problem is, I want to play melee because I want to get the armor because they're playing tactics, right? It's what's going to keep things going. So we get the board clog risk, but we also get the security of having our cards last. And good hits. This is where it just gets wild. I think we have a really good board state. And that's the thing. We want to just get these things out there and leave them chasing us.
They will dance to our beat, sing to our tune. 2 rigs or 4, I never miss, even at full gallop. Cycle!
4 passive points per turn, plus to 1 up the crossbowman every time we play a soldier. Ah. That is the thing. So I'm thinking, okay, we've got room for an illusionist. The only issue with that is Vrygif isn't really good if we gen that row. But the longer we wait, the worse it gets. So it makes you wonder. I think we still do it, because there's a chance that the Duchess gets killed, right? That one, and then we can fit something else anyways. There's also that, right? I kind of regret not putting the illusionist beside the crossbowman here, just because Vrygif would have been kind of nice.
Stand your ground!
Pikeman doesn't have a deploy effect. I don't think it matters though. At this point, there's just too much damage that's been done, too short of a time left. We've seen things like Terra Nova already, so a lot of their big plays are out of the way. 3. Okay, at least we get a bit more space here. I think we just take the extra pikemen, right? Yeah. Heatwave something, Yen something. We're pretty much in a spot where it's like a board wipe. They should have taken maybe... I guess they thought we had more illusionists. But that'll just do it here. You see the trend. Moving on to the last game of the day. It's going to be another Nilfgaard matchup. It's going to be double cross. Yeah, in this matchup, I'm thinking, okay, Yen's probably more likely a thing than the last matchup, so we'll put that defender down first. And there we go. We'll boost it just in case they can somehow get around it first and then deal with it. Yeah, and it's a little too late for Yen here. I think we just go with the Letho. Just toss the one boost on it. No one's playing Treason right now, so I don't think we need to really worry too much about that play.
What is truth if not an illusion? No good wine will come from here, not even compost.
And so now we're going to be top decking into our best cards. So that should just be fine. I want to see 2 cards. So we can actually play here, right? Because both series will go.
Victory is on the wind.
And we still have a little bit of a play should we need to go into round 3 illusionists and some tactics. But I'm pretty confident that if we can get these engines out early, we'll be fine. We take the mulligan there on the brigade, knowing that we're going to get the next one, but we want to cycle through mulligans so we can start getting to some of those bronzes, the other ones.
Monsieur, a fine vintage it would have made. Yes. Onward, onward, to be showered with imperial gold. Estella, cycle.
Gotta love it here. We have all 3 up, and if they put something valuable behind the defender, we can just go and obviously Yen, Heatwave, you name it. But for now, I want to get down these engines and just make sure that we're maximizing the points that we have. Because I'm pushing for 2-0 when we get the round win on even in round 1, so... That's a bit of a problem. At least we have the armor going on. Probably just take a crossbowman here, or we can go pikeman with mushy truffle, right? It's like a machine gun, literally.
Her grace will not be pleased.
We really need to get back there. And I don't want to be wasting pings off armor either. So I think at this point we have to take away that defender. Now we can use crossbowmen to snipe out one of the ones, whether it's the 2 or whatever. Ah. So they see the line. In the grand scheme of things, that is the best heat wave as of yet. And I played my hand in such a way too that they're not going to get a great leader. So it works out pretty well here. They are resilient though, for sure. I think what they wanted was the Vreemed or the crossbowman.
You all will pay. I shall flog them into submission.
And so far things are looking pretty comfortable. We got that leader commitment that we're looking for. Now we can just go play some routine cards like take our thin here. We're still getting the passive points per turn. We still have the mushy truffle order, leader, all types of things, right? Do I ever take that? No, I think I ended up taking brigade here. It does make sense. And I have so many ideas for this week. I'm going to be maybe doing a bit more than usual this week, just because a lot of things I'm trying to do. But this deck is a lot of fun, and I'm going to continue to mess around with it and see if there's any sort of way to refine it. If you guys have any feedback on it as well, I'd love to hear what you think. But for a first take, it's actually pretty nuts.
And if I insert a needle here, what then?
Now we don't have 2 deploys, but we have 1, which is fine. At this point in the match, I don't know how much it matters here. And we could probably go all in with the Vreemed. I don't think that they have the means to finish the poison. So passing is one thing, but I think we play.
Stand your ground.
There we go. And we'll see you guys tomorrow, like I mentioned, with another video. If you enjoy the content that you see, don't forget to subscribe, because I upload at 8 AM every single day, Eastern Time. See you tomorrow.